the generation game. Ah! Fall over. Nope.
Oh well.
Right, so we've just filmed one video. We thought we'd do another, but this time round, just throw out some random questions to each other and see what type of interesting stories we come up with.
Interesting story time.
So,
Make
Matt.
everyone
Shh.
Hang on, no, I'm going to ask you first, Sam.
Are you going to ask me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like people asking questions.
I think it'd be really interesting if we tell everyone what our first sort of experience of Empire was.
I think it should be Sammy's second event at Empire.
Was that better than his first?
No, I really enjoyed my first Empire.
So if we go like leading up to, you've never been to Empire before.
Yeah.
What made you want to come? And apart from, you can't just say we press ganged you. Was it?
Okay, so the reasons for going to Empire, I was tired a lot. I really, really did not want to carry on. I was at the point of, been LARPing for like 7 years. I was like, I can't be asked to keep doing this anymore. And then I moved in with you guys, and then it was kind of just like, oh, well, there's Empire. And I was like, I'd heard of Empire, but never gone. Loads of friends had. And I was just like, all right, well, I might as well give it a try. And you guys were like, oh, you've got to come and be an orc. And I was like, all right, fine. And then just remember going onto the Facebook group of the orcs, and suddenly just everyone being very welcoming and being like, well, looks like I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
That was it, really.
Cool. Did you ever decide on, did you ever want to pick another nation, or? I mean, we never gave you that choice, but if you looked at them, would you have picked one? Is there one you'd like to pick?
I think everyone I knew had gone to the Brass Coast, and only because of friends that I still had at that point. I mean, they're still friends now. It makes it sound very bleak, but no, friends I had were in the Brass Coast. So I was like, oh, well, I might as well go there. But it never overly appealed to me about the combat style, because they're all very colourful and frilly and things like that. But yeah, I think if there was anywhere else I would have gone to start with, it would have been Brass Coast.
Wow. Cool. I can't imagine you as a Brass Coast. I think you'd be good at it though, because you're quite good with trading and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind going there. I think if Bull dies, I might consider it. But we don't think about a future without Bull.
Yeah, that's a bleak time. Anyway, your next backup character is another Ashbourne, as already told me.
Yes, it is another Ashbourne anyway, so I won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a very, very odd trader.
Odd?
Yeah. Like, I don't know how to describe it. So the idea would be to play like a bone setter, but the complete opposite of Han.
I mean,
so
as anything we say is going to be...
So the opposite of Han would be, because where Han is very kind of... He knows what he's doing, but he doesn't necessarily articulate himself in a very confident manner or things like that.
So you want to be like Ashbourne Delboy?
I might actually be Ashbourne Delboy.
Del is Del could be an orc name.
Del. Ashbourne Del.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can you have like a sidekick called Rod?
Rod.
Del and Rod.
Rod. There you go. Yeah. So that was my one. What about your first experiences with Empire?
Mine. So I'm
gonna go get myself a dunkable. I'll be back in a minute.
A dunkable.
A dunkable.
Can I have one?
Nope.
Oh.
So I didn't LARP until like my third year of uni. I didn't even know about it. And a couple of our mates were in Wintermark at the time. This would have been, I don't know, like maybe 5 years ago now. And they sort of said, yeah, how do you fancy coming along? Like, they did a couple of events. I sort of thought, wow, God, this is like the most nerdy thing ever. I'm not going to enjoy this. This is way too, sort of, too involved and too extreme. And then I kind of just, well, I wouldn't say they wore me down, but I was like, alright, I'll come along and see what it's like. So went in like the most bog standard like kit possible. Like I bought some £3 trousers from a charity shop, and I made my own tunic that was too small, and I got a belt from a charity shop, and that was basically it.
Matt likes his tunics tight.
I bought like some pouches from Dark Blades on site, and it was like the worst event ever because it was horribly muddy and awful. But it was also the best event ever because I got utterly hooked and never looked back and was like, this is the best hobby ever. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life.
Yep. Pretty bad. What about you, Andrea?
So basically, up until like moving in with Matt, everything that I had heard about Empire was awful. Like, I hadn't heard anything really that good about it, and you know, someone actually told me that the best thing that they had experienced in their trip to Empire was an auction over a piece of wood, which I realise now they were describing a bourse auction. So they actually got into a bourse auction.
Yeah, and they were talking about weirwood.
Yeah, and like, I just, you know, they were basically saying that was the most exciting part of the whole event. And I was just like, wow, that sounds like it sucks. But then, like, I moved in with you, and you were talking about Owen, and you were talking about us.
I was talking about the first time we met Ask and he tripped over a temp hole.
Yeah, and like, I started reading the orc brief, and you were telling me about the orcs and everything, and I was just like, oh mate, alright, I think I could get behind this. It was about the same kind of time that I was starting to play Maskins at GC, and I was just like, oh, this sounds really cool. I want to go. I really liked the whole. I just liked everything about the orc brief. Like, I just loved it. Like, I don't think there's a single bit about the orc brief that I don't like. And I was just like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to give this a go. And then my first event was the first event at the new site, and there was a named storm. There was a named storm came through, and like, this was back in the days of the 4-day event. So they.
I think it was the last 4-day
I
event.
think it was the no.
It was
one of the last 4-day events.
It was the first event at Danford Road.
And it was just amazing. Like, the Iron Tide 10 was
Became
a boat.
a swimming pool.
It was like sailing aboard a lake. Because we weren't in the forest then either. We were like at the bottom of that hill where the road is.
I cannot imagine the orcs not being in the forest now.
No, I know.
It was totally different. Like, totally just.
When did they get the forest, basically?
Like the second or we missed the second event of that year, and then by the third event they were there.
Oh, okay.
So I think they were probably there from the second event. But yeah, it's completely different. You know, a much smaller camp because it was just the outskirts of the forest, basically to where the path is.
Yeah.
So like a really thin sort of strip going down that hill, and of course the bottom of the hill by the toilets became Lake Irontide.
Yeah, like, you know where the Senate is?
Yeah.
That's basically, you know, like,
oh yeah, no,
rains,
yeah.
There's that lake.
Yeah.
That was where the Irontide tent was.
Okay.
Like, it was literally sailing that lake. Then Ask's tent was next to it, and it was great.
Yeah.
And
we,
yeah,
of course,
and
we were camped out of character, so it was all right.
it was kind of okay. We were basically where God is now.
Yes, we were. Yeah.
And it was really cool. Some things happened in that event that kind of
Started you on a path that you can never get off of.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you just don't really want to. I mean,
it was really good. I really enjoyed it. You had to go at me halfway through because I was too bouncy. So
orcs are not bouncy.
So instead, we decided to cripple Raw, physically and emotionally.
You can have Dunkables. Would you like a Dunkable?
I don't know if that noise is going to irritate people.
What? I don't care if it's going to irritate
The crunching.
them.
I mean, I've already done it.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
We have loads of other videos on this channel where you can watch and enjoy.
Or
Then-
don't watch, see if I care.
Alright, calm down. We want the viewership. Like if you would like a calm, relaxing, chilled out evening with Matthew. That's right, an evening with Matthew.
Who I would like to point out that today we found out is probably the least chilled out person.
I've never heard Matthew say swear words like I've heard him say today. It is shocking and appalling.
Yeah, so maybe the next time you're having a go at me for it.
Or
you should
me.
Think back.
What? I don't swear. Don't know what you're on about. Anyway.
Jinx.
I don't care, it's a video. If I don't talk, there's no content.
So have we asked the same question to everyone?
Yeah.
Do you have? Is there anything you
Oh,
sort of, I guess, miss about your first? Obviously, your experience of Empire now is going to be different from what it was to begin with. Is there anything that you kind of look back on and think, oh, remember when we did those really cool things? They were so much better than. Is there anything that you think was better then, or?
I look at Empire E1 last year as just being so much of an eye opener, of helping run a LARP for like 7 years, and not really relaxing.
How long have you been LARPing, Sammy?
Nearly 8 years. I started LARPing when I was 21.
So you only mentioned it like 3 or 4 times.
I know.
So.
I do. I like to throw out my longevity. Throwing it out there. But just being able to go to an event and actually relax. Like I think the first night I was there on the Friday night, I went to bed at like 11 o'clock and no one said anything to me. It was just relaxing. And like everyone was just like, are you okay? This and because it was raining and it was muddy and it was horrible.
and you sat on your Jonah by the fire pit most of the time.
I know, and everyone was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm having a whale of a time. This is amazing." Because I'd gone to a LARP and I could relax. I didn't have to worry about caring about like over 100 people. I didn't have to care about anything outside of what I was doing. And it's just lovely, and I would never change anything about the first. In fact, any event I've ever gone to with Empire, I would change a single thing. I've enjoyed every single moment.
So would you? So obviously, because you've been coming to Empire a lot less than we have, and it's quite. I'd say it's harder for me to remember. Mainly, my memory's not great anyway. But it's harder for me to sort of remember what it was like when I started.
Yeah.
Would you say that you're having your first event where you sort of almost come not really knowing what you're going to do, almost just with an open mind to see what happens, just to come and enjoy the atmosphere, and even if you don't get involved in anything, would you say that's kind of the best way to look at coming to your first event?
I think. Hold on, I'm just trying to start the brightness. There we go.
That's better, isn't it?
It is.
Can you actually see us now?
I mean, it doesn't make your head look like a sunshine.
Oh.
I know. Do you know? I think when I went to the first event and playing a pit fire, there wasn't really any game anyway, outside of if someone called you out on it. And I mean, luckily someone did, and that was kind of like the first time I went up against Scar. I think. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What did he call you out for?
Nothing. He was just standing in the pit, and he was just like, right, who wants to fight me? And I was like, well, this is most probably the only shot I've got going against the general. And it was kind of like I went up there. I said, yep, I'll do it. I'm a pit fighter. Put my hand up, went in, got the ever-loving snot beat out of me.
Rumour has it that was the first time that Scar ever won a fight.
It was. That was the embarrassing thing, because I found out, he never wins. I was like, oh, well, he beat me. Damn.
That's my boy.
Yeah, I mean, there was no game for a pit fire, so it was kind of like there wasn't really anything to do anyway.
But you feel like having that sort of first event just to find your feet and to sort of come and realise what the game is actually like, as opposed to what it seems like on
paper,
on the wiki or on Facebook.
It's definitely different. I would always suggest, like, anyone who's wanting to try it first, but don't put all of your eggs into the basket. Like, just go in, just make sure you've got basic kit, don't take anything fancy, and then see where it goes, because, well, you know, people are spending loads and loads of money. Like, you know, there's people buying, you know, I can't remember, it's buying weapons that don't really fit, but they were loads of money and all of that jazz. Unless you've been already, don't do it. Just wait.
Yeah.
Go to Empire first.
It's kind of like anything. Try, well, I say not like anything, but almost try before you buy. But having to have bought a ticket, so you do buy any.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know what I mean.
LARP in general, you need to do that. You need to always go find your feet, and then you can do it. Until that point, don't. So yeah. Oh wow, I'm tired.
Is that it then? No, Sammy.
No, I'm still bye. I can't. You're my lift home. I can't leave yet. What about you?
On it. What was the question?
What if there was anything you changed from your first event or appreciate from your first event?
I wish I'd bought more clothing with me, because I did just bring one pair of trousers and one tunic, and that was it. And it was like a 4-day event. Obviously, I had normal clothing on underneath, but like my outer layers.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, they got sodden and wet, and nothing was waterproof. I didn't even have a cloak. I was very ill prepared, but it almost sort of being in that, oh no, I was not ready for this. It kind of made you realise, oh well, I need to get this and this and this, and I need to do this and this to then make my next event even better.
Yeah.
And then my second event was just as good as the first, but I sort of had that sense of, oh, I now know what I'm going in for.
Yeah.
Let's sort of sort out all the comfortable out of character stuff.
Yeah.
So that I've got a dry bed to sleep in, and you know, a tent that doesn't leak.
Didn't you sleep in your car?
I did sleep in my car. Yeah. It was more waterproof than a tent.
It's true. I mean, you would have been cold, but at least you wouldn't dry.
I'm pretty good in a car, but I can kind of sleep anywhere. But yeah,
That's a lie. You know it. He can't. He
I
lies.
definitely. So
You are such a princess.
personally,
Yeah.
I would not have become an orc straight away. I needed that time to get to know the game.
Yeah.
You know, I needed that sort of year just to poodle about and realise, because I didn't LARP before Empire, like I said.
Yeah.
I had no idea what, you know, I didn't really even read the wiki. I didn't read a single Wind of War or Fortune before I came to the first event. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's give this a shot. And I needed that to get to know what the hobby was.
Yeah.
And then, you know, 3, maybe even 4 years later now, I don't know how long we've been going. Yeah, like 4 years later,
Yeah.
I'm now wearing sort of, you know, amazing kit that I spent 2 years to create. I've now got a really in-depth character that I love playing. You know, I can really appreciate this massively deep world that we all live in and interact with all of it.
I think being an Imperial Orc, I think that changes. Like, I think if you're coming into Empire for the first time, like being an Imperial Orc maybe isn't the best thing to do, especially if you're new to LARP.
Well, says you and Andrea, who came in as Imperial Orcs
No,
straight away.
but then we'd had prior experience within LARP, so it's not
Yeah.
overly bad. But I think it's because the outlay isn't cheap.
Yeah, but
It's-
I gotta be honest, I kind of disagree, because if,
Okay.
like,
All
I
right.
can't imagine
What's your argument?
I can't imagine ever going to a different nation, to be honest with you.
Okay.
There's just not another nation that I like enough.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, I just don't like the other briefs as much. Like, I just think the Imperial Orc one is so well written, and like, I don't know, maybe because I don't have to roleplay that much of it. Like, you know, I don't have any personal space. Don't know about you guys.
I have quite a lot of personal space.
Yeah, but you don't count.
Oh.
Anyway, like, stuff like that really fits quite, like, well with me. What are you doing?
Some loose threads.
Sorry, you can't see that, but someone was just cutting a hole in his trousers.
No, I was cutting around the hole. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think the Imperial Orc brief is the best, and I can't imagine ever going to a different nation to play it. I did think, oh, maybe Brass Coast, but mostly because I just like the clothes. I don't like anything else to do with the brief, really. Like, Well, I do, and it's nice, but I don't know. I don't think I could do it justice.
I think you go to brief, I go to my mates. If I've got mates somewhere, I'll go and I'll work around.
I think that's
the
a
rest of it.
very valid reason for why most people go to LARPs. They'll go with their group of friends. You know, there are a lot of people who ask, you know, I want to be in a nation, but all my mates are in another nation. Can we all be in the same group?
Yeah.
Sadly, you do kind of have to pick one or the other, and really, you know, your mates should be kind of more important.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a really sort of particular reason why you want to be in another nation.
Yeah.
But there's nothing stopping you from, you know, still playing with those friends. You just got to remember that, you know, the sort of national egregore magic is an important thing, and you almost get more out of your game if you go in as one big group.
All right. So an interesting. So we're gonna do it because this video's got quite long now. So, nation. If you had to pick a nation to go to after this, if it couldn't be the Imperial Orcs, what would it be?
Marches.
Marches.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
You got to pick one.
I think I'd just stop playing Empire, to be honest with you.
Well, that's not really the point of the question.
Well, I don't know.
Just pick one, mate. It's pretty
Sammy.
simple.
Where would you go?
Brass Coast.
Yeah.
Yep. If I had to go anywhere, I'd go Brass Coast.
I suppose I'd probably go and do High Guard, but I don't.
There you go. Well done. You've made it to the end of the video. I'm proud of you. Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're feeling nice, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom. If not, I don't like you anymore. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.